ball will come all the way back with Stefan Ortega. Ortega will just play it short towards Morato, who'll clip it up, and there is John McGinn, who will bring it down for Villa. He's going to try and spin and come down the right side for Aston Villa. Now it's going to be cleared away by Morato. Morato up towards Igor Jesus. Yuri Tielemans back to Pau Torres. Victor Lindelof gives it to Ollie Watkins. Watkins into Yuri Tielemans on the halfway line. Out on the right side with Matty Cash. Cash will fire it across towards John McGinn. He's going to send in a left-footed cross aimed all the way through. He'll bounce out for a goal kick. Just came out on that right flank towards John McGinn, who aimed it towards Morgan Rogers. Oh, just floated through, and players just stopped because Morato is down with a head injury at the moment. It's a little sore at the moment. So Ollie Watkins bandaged up down there, but has broken the deadlock in the game for his Aston Villa side. I tell you, Crystal Palace have got another goal, so they are now 2-1 up, meaning it's 5-2 on aggregate. It is Ismail Assar who has scored plenty of goals this season for Crystal Palace, and he's got a crucial touch on the ball to put them in the lead against the Ukrainian team. So back in play here at Villa Park. It's Pau Torres on the ball. Pau Torres will just go back to Konsa. There's Konsa. Konsa goes inside. All the way back, and it's with Victor Lindelof. Lindelof, who will just go out to Pau Torres. Pau Torres all the way back into Konsa. Konsa having to play with plenty of bodies in front of him because Forest are putting all of their men behind the ball. It's out on the left side with Pau Torres now. Pau Torres being wrestled with by Ryan Yates, who has caught him from behind. Ryan Yates just a little bit overzealous with the way that he's fought for the ball. Just having a tug in his shirt by the looks of things. So it will be a free kick. Ryan Yates just a little bit too eager to try and win that ball. Just caught Emi Buendia on the back of his foot. So here is John McGinn. John McGinn will cross it all the way in. Ryan Yates will block it off. Now it's with Emi Buendia. Emi Buendia will go all the way back into Pau Torres. Pau Torres on the ball. And now it's with John McGinn. John McGinn will just go inside towards Ezri Konsa. Ezri Konsa launches it up towards Emi Buendia. And he is just a little bit loose on it and is caught. And now it's back with Ryan Yates. Yates gives it to Elliot Anderson. All the way back with Nikola Milenkovic. We'll give it Jair Cunha into Amari Hutchinson. And that time it is Luca Dean that just bundles over the Ipswich Town man. And once again, Glenn Nyberg is over, and this time he's booking a Nottingham Forest coach, member of the backroom staff, who's not happy at all. It's Glenn Nyberg over speaking to Vitor Pereira. Nyberg not happy with when the coaches are coming out and shouting towards him. So the referee just speaking to Hutchinson, who has hobbled back up onto his feet. Looks like he is going to be okay. A little bit sore. So ball is all the way back to Milenkovic. Milenkovic goes all the way back into Stefan Ortega. Ortega out on the right side. Ball up and it's Ezri Konsa. And step across and then he tries to force it forward towards Morgan Rogers, and the referee has just spotted a foul there. Konsa bumbled over by Elliot Anderson. So just trying to get there ahead of him before him. So it's going to be a free kick for Yuri Tielemans to take. Forest's defensive line 15 yards out from their own goal. So Tielemans is going to look to launch at him. Instead he just comes short to Matty Cash. Cash out to the right flank towards John McGinn. McGinn will drive inside, and it's Nico Williams on that occasion who will block it off for his team. So here is a corner for the captain, John McGinn, who is over to take. Villa players towards the back post in conversation, trying to organise themselves. John McGinn, the captain. He's actually going to go short towards Emi Buendia. He'll come back into Matty Cash. Now in a central position with Yuri Tielemans. It's sent back across by Buendia. Oh, there must be a foul there. I'm sure Paul Torres has been dragged down to the ground by a Forest player. It's now with John McGinn. McGinn with the effort. Blocked off by a Forest man. Now it's Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers loses it, and it's now Nico Williams, and Williams a little bit loose in it, and the referee's stopping it because he's saying there's a VAR check. I think this is a penalty. Yeah, I think that's a penalty. Paul Torres is going to play the ball, and he is being tugged hold of by Nikola Milenkovic. What is the Serbian defender doing? I think that's clear and obvious error, because Paul Torres has taken the touch and he's going to turn to play it, and he's just dragged down to the ground. I think that is quite clearly a penalty. Ryan Yates and John McGinn are speaking to the referee, Glenn Nyberg. Milenkovic is over pleading his innocence. He's going to get sent to the VAR screen. He is. Glenn Nyberg makes the TV monitor scream. So it is going to be a penalty, I imagine. Glenn Nyberg's made his way over to watch it. Milenkovic just had a handful of the shirt of Paul Torres. You can see his number 14 on his back and just dragged him down. Yeah, it's quite clearly a penalty. Glenn Nyberg points to the spot. I don't think any Nottingham Forest supporters or players can really complain about that, and it's poor defending from the Serbian defender Nikola Milenkovic. And Villa will now have the opportunity from the spot. So the referee making his way over to speak to the players, and Emi Buendia will put the ball down. Stefan Ortega back on his line now. There's going to be big pressure on the former Manchester City shot stopper. Emi Buendia is preparing to take it. Now this is an opportunity to go 2 goals up after Milenkovic had a tug on Torres' shirt. It's Buendia, steps up onto it, slams it into the corner, and Emi Buendia, who has already scored quite an incredible amount of goals this season compared to previous years. Well, now he has put Villa 2-0 up with his 3rd Europa League goal of the season. Prince William is up celebrating with a massive fist bump, as are the home supporters here. And the Argentinian celebrates in front of the home end. And it's now Aston Villa 2, Nottingham Forest 1 on aggregate. Stefan Ortega went the right way, but Emi Buendia has just caught it underneath the attempted dive by Stefan Ortega. And they are now 2-0 up, or Aston Villa. Prince William absolutely loving what he's seen. And the Villains are 2 up, and Emi Buendia has been the best player on this pitch today. He created the opener for Ollie Watkins, and now he has scored to put them 2-0 up. The ball goes all the way back to Stefan Ortega. He'll go out to the right side with Jair Cunha. Forest are going to have to respond now that they are 2 behind. Ball in behind, and Pau Torres goes back to Emi Martinez, and he'll give it Matty Cash. Matty Cash out on the right side. All the way up towards John McGinn, who's going to spin and turn, but he's caught by Elliot Anderson. Here is Forest. Now Elliot Anderson. Anderson on the ball, and he is caught, and it is going to be a throw. So here is Ezra Konsa. Konsa goes all the way back to Pau Torres. Pau Torres inside. All the way back, long ball up, and Watkins tries to bring it down under his control. There is Nico Dominguez, plays it inside towards Elliot Anderson. Ball will be well tackled down there. Ball's back with Stefan Ortega. Ortega will send a long ball up. Will bounce through. Ollie Watkins with the opportunity here for Villa! And that could have been a third, but it has been denied by the assistant referee's flag. Ollie Watkins gone a little bit too early. Morgan Rogers flicked it towards Watkins, and he did fire it past Stefan Ortega, but he was quite clearly offside. So here is Elliot Anderson in the midfield for Forest. He's going to go all the way back to Nikola Milenkovic. Milenkovic out on the right side to Jair Cunha. Jair Cunha will send a long ball up. It's just going to be hooked away by Luca Dean. Gibbs White making his way over, getting some boots. He's on the bench today, Morgan Gibbs White, which is quite incredible when you look at him. And I think he might be a player that Vitor Pereira may look to bring on. He probably wasn't prepared to use him, but he has made his way off and got some boots. So Watkins now goes down the left side for Aston Villa. And drive past some the Forest defenders. Nikola Milenkovic is across, and it will be a throw. Literally looks like something out of a horror film, does Morgan Gibbs White, with the massive black eyes. I think it would be a risk using him. Of course, I'm not aware of his medical condition, how he really is, but he does not look good. One ball goes up, it's flicked on. There's John McGinn with the effort, but he can only hit it down the centre of the goal, and that will be comfortable for Stefan Ortega to save as he just collects it to his chest. Came to John McGinn on the edge of the box. He struck it well, but right down the centre of the goal, and very comfortable for Stefan Ortega. So, here it is with Milenkovic. Milenkovic will come all the way back to Ortega. 7 attempts on target for Villa compared to none from Forest. That's the difference at the moment. Morgan Rogers out to Emi Buendia. Now Victor Lindelof. Lindelof steps inside. He's tackled by Amari Hutchinson. And now there's an opportunity perhaps for Forest to break forward. But Pau Torres will block it off for Villa. So long ball goes up. Now it's through and it's on to Igor Jesus. Jesus to Amari Hutchinson. Out on the right flank now. Hutchinson dinks it to the far post. Headed by the Brazilian, but heads it wide of the goal. And just not threatened at all of Vitor Pereira's team. Forest supporters looking worried, but they've only got one goal and they could take it to extra time. Of course, it is the power of having an away leg as your second game in a two-legged tie. When you've got your home leg as your second one, it gives you much needed momentum and a boost as you know what you're playing against. As ball goes up towards Watkins, who tries to hold on to it. He can't get to it. Now it's Forest. And it's John McGinn who's across, and he catches Nico Williams from behind, so that will be a foul. McGinn clearly disagreeing with the decision of the referee. So Vitor Pereira is making his way over, speaking to his backroom staff. They are going to have to come to some sort of solution here with the final 25 minutes. It's Ortega. Ortega gives it Ryan Yates. Yates goes back into Milenkovic. There is Williams. Williams back to Morato. Ball goes central into Chris Wood. Caught from behind, and it is going to be a free kick. A throw, shall I say, for Forest. Nico Williams goes back into Morato. Morato goes down the left flank, goes into Yates. Williams will hook it on, and Forest tried to flick it away with Chris Wood, but now it's back with Emi Buendia. Emi Buendia to Morgan Rogers. Rogers 25 yards out. Dangerous striker goal. 8th shot on target. That one was more comfortable for Stefan Ortega. Still had to make a dive to his right side, but relatively simple save for him in the end. Here's Pau Torres, does really well to win it back. Now with Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans inside towards Emi Buendia. Back to Victor Lindelof. It's all the way back into Pau Torres. Pau Torres into Konsa. Konsa out to the right side with Matty Cash. Cash comes back to Konsa. There is Emi Martinez. Goalkeeper in all yellow. He's going to clip it out to this right side. He's headed on. There is Rogers who will try and spin and turn for his team, and I think he's just been caught there, and there is going to be a foul. Nico Williams colliding with Morato. A bit of a head collision between the two of them. It's the second time Morato's gone down with a head injury. It looks like it's more to the nose, so I don't think any serious medical attention has come onto the pitch. It's again Vitor Pereira on his iPad. I don't think we're going to see Gibbs White today. I can't quite believe that he's been named on the bench. I thought that concussion protocol would have ruled him out, but clearly didn't have a concussion. Here's Ryan Yates. 1-2 with Nico Dominguez. Goes all the way back into Milenkovic. Now Jair Cunha. So the long ball down on up towards Amari Hutchinson. He brings it down really well. Goes inside towards Elliot Anderson. Anderson wins it back from Luca Dean. Now Jesus tries to get there ahead of Pau Torres. Referee allows play to continue as Emi Martinez will boot it up. It's booted up now, controlled by Pau Torres. Now with John McGinn. John McGinn gives it to Morgan Rogers. Rogers bundled over by a Forest man, and it will be a foul. 68 minutes on the clock here. Emi Buendia actually helped up onto his feet by the referee, Glenn Nyberg. Will help him up with a free kick for Villa. Looks like Lorenzo Luca is getting ready to come on, as is Dylan Bakwa. They look like they are the two changes. Smatty Cash goes back inside towards Konsa. I tell you that Freiburg are now 3-0 up, shall I say, against Braga. So that now means it is 4-2 on aggregate, and it looks like the German side will be going through to the final to play Aston Villa. As it stands, certainly looks like that. And it's Lucas Kubler with the goal for Freiburg. And 3 goals up to the good. There is Emi Martinez. Back on the ball for Aston Villa. It's going to be a left-footed ball all the way up towards Watkins. It'll be headed away by Milenkovic. Now it's Nico Williams on it on this left flank. Nico Williams will go back into Morato. Morato back into Elliot Anderson. Now it's all the way in behind, and here is Chris Wood. Wood's made a good run. I think he may be offside personally, but the referee has allowed play to continue because the assistant referee did raise his flag, but the ref said let's play an advantage. Now it's Nico Williams with it on the left flank. Watkins working hard to win the ball back. Now it's Nico Williams. He's all the way back towards Ryan Yates. Yates will give it to Elliot Anderson. Anderson out on their right side now. Anderson will receive it, fires it across goal, and it will go all the way through and out for a goal kick. Martinez made the save, so that was a bit controversial. Well, it was pretty tight. It wasn't clear that Chris Wood was offside. He raced forward. Martinez made the save. Because Villa were breaking forward, it was an opportunity for them to get going. But then Forest won the ball and they nearly went forward and scored themselves. So there are going to be a couple changes for Nottingham Forest. We're going to see the New Zealand international Chris Wood make his way off the pitch. Coming on for Chris Wood is the big man Lorenzo Luca, who's currently on loan from the Italian side Napoli. Yet to score a goal in the Europa League, has scored 1 goal against Leeds United in the Premier League. So Morato is making his way off the pitch for Nottingham Forest as well. This ball goes in behind towards Emi Buendia with the effort. Sends it past the goal and out for a goal kick. That was a good opportunity there for Buendia. Watkins did really well just holding on to it. And then the Argentinian, with the effort, just drags it wide of the goal. Amar Bagode is getting ready to come on for Aston Villa, and that we expected to actually start as Forest go down the right side, cross goes in, be blocked off by Luca Dean down there, the fullback for Aston Villa. And this will be the first corner of the game for Nottingham Forest. There's an attacking change as Morato, who's on a yellow card, has made his way off. And Dylan Bakwa, who signed from Strasbourg, in a 30 million deal this summer is onto the pitch. Dylan Bakwa is on, and he will be hoping to make a difference for Vitor Pereira's team as they are gathering around inside the 18-yard box, waiting for delivery. It comes in, it's headed away. It's now back with Forest in a midfield position. And the ball goes out, and we are going to see a change here for Villa. And it's number 3, Victor Lindelof. He came in today to play as part of this back 5 for Villa. He joined on a free transfer this summer from Manchester United. He's had to be patient in terms of starts, but the Europa League has been more of a competition for the Iceman. And Victor Lindelof gets a standing ovation as he makes his way off. And coming on for him is Lamar Bagode, the young 22-year-old who's come through the youth system here. He's on for his 13th Europa League appearance. Football talent runs heavily in Lamar Bagode's family. He's the nephew of former Dutch international Winston Bogarde, the younger brother of Melero Bogarde, and also cousins with Danilo Doki. Basically grew up in a footballing dynasty. So Bogarde is onto the pitch now. So Elliot Anderson and Amari Hutchinson stood over the ball here. Right arm up in the air of Elliot Anderson. He will just roll it back to Hutchinson. Hutchinson will clip it over the top, and the referee is just going to stop it. Not sure why, but now can do it. And now Villa can break forward with Ollie Watkins. Goes all the way up. Blocked off by Forrest on that far side. Good defensive work by Dylan Bakwa. Tell you, Braga have got a goal back, so that game isn't dead and buried. Out in Germany, it's 3-1 to Freiburg. I mean, it's 4-3 on aggregate. Cesare Concer on it. Cesare Concer. It's out to the right side towards John McGinn. And again, we'll just knock it off Amari Hutchinson. And it will be a throw for his team. The ball goes all the way up. Milenkovic is grappling with Ollie Watkins, and the Serbian defender will just head it away. So it is going to be a throw for Villa as Matty Cash is going to come over to take. Former Nottingham Forest man, he usually gets a bit of a hostile reception whenever he plays at the City ground. He made the move back in 2020, did Matty Cash. It's going to be launched all the way up, headed away. Mari Hutchinson will clear it, and then Concert will go all the way back towards the goalkeeper, Emi Martinez. He'll take his time in picking up the ball. Keeper in all yellow. Won the Golden Glove at the last World Cup. He's quite well known for his mind games. Watkins heads it back to Morgan Rogers. Here's John McGinn! And Villa are surely heading through to a European final once again. And it's absolute bedlam right in front of the Holt end. And it's John McGinn, the captain, with the crucial touch to put Aston Villa 3-0 up against Nottingham Forest. And who else to maybe get the finishing touch for this Midlands club? The 31-year-old captain finding his 4th Europa League goal. And as it stands, it's going to be Aston Villa and Freiburg in the final in the Europa League. Brilliant play by Ollie Watkins just to lay it off for John McGinn. He didn't even need a touch to compose himself, and he slams it into the bottom corner. Real conviction, almost like a placed, finessed finish more than anything. But calm in front of goal. Unai Emery responds by punching the floor. That's what it means for him. And they are absolutely loving it, are Aston Villa, who are now 3-0 up against Nottingham Forest, 3-1 in aggregate. And you've got to say, they absolutely deserve to be heading through to a Europa League final. They have been incredible this year in Europe. And they today have had 9 shots on target compared to just the 1 of Nottingham Forest. It has been as one-sided of a contest as you're going to see. And considering Nottingham Forest are 10 games unbeaten coming into this game, on the back of beating Aston Villa last week in the first leg, on the back of beating a fresh Chelsea side on the weekend in a 3-1 victory, Nottingham Forest have not been anywhere near good enough against this Aston Villa team that are surely now heading through to a Europa League final. So ball goes up. Luca Dean can only head it away. It's going to be touched by Emi Buendia. Now it's Lamar Bagode. He'll give it Watkins. Watkins will carry it forward out to the right side for McGinn. Oh! It's absolutely sensational! And it's almost the exact same finish from John McGinn, but into the opposite corner. And Aston Villa are 100% getting ready to book their flights out to a Europa League final. And Unai Emery will be looking for his 5th ever Europa League title. And it's John McGinn, his captain. Nottingham Forest watching on. They can't believe what's happened today, but they have just come up against an Aston Villa side who look well rested and look so much better. That's the 10th shot on target. McGinn once again just placing it into the corner. It's such a composed finish. Left-footed. He runs over to celebrate. You might as well get your phones out now if you're an Aston Villa supporter and look to book some flights out for the Europa League final. He has been outstanding today, and they will be heading to Istanbul's Besiktas Park to partake in the 2026 Europa League final, and they will be looking to be the 2nd English team in a row after Tottenham Hotspur won it last year to win that coveted trophy. Morgan Gibbs-White, with his 2 black eyes and big scar on his face, watches on. Well, I say he watches on, he can't bear to watch. He's got hands and arms over his face. He was named on the bench today, but not been able to call upon their captain. And here is Aston Villa's captain, John McGinn. He'll come out to the right side, plays a 1-2 with Matty Cash. Here is Forrest to Ryan Yates, out to the left side towards Amari Hutchinson. Hutchinson will fire it across, and it will just be blocked off down there by the fullback, Lamar Bagode. Victor Pereira watches on with his arms crossed. Eight minutes to go here. 4-1 in aggregate now. Jadon Sancho is getting ready to come on. Unai Emery speaking to him, giving him some instructions. Here it is with Forest. It's with Nico Dominguez in the midfield. It goes out to the right side. Roger Cunha to Dylan Bakwa. Bakwa will carry it forward down the right side, and he is caught. So it will be a free kick out on that far side now. Nottingham Forest have only had one shot on target in the game, and well, Chris Wood was probably offside from that one as well when it came all the way forward. So Nottingham Forest have got it out on that far side. Jadon Sancho just taping up his socks. I think they're allowing him to have holes in the back of his socks. So Dylan Bakwa going to try a left-footed cross. Oh, headed away by Morgan Rogers. Not sure he got a shout from his goalkeeper, Emi Martinez. So just had to head it away for his team, and it's going to be a corner once again